an exciting battle between the Scranton Miners and the Wilkes-Barre Barrians. It's a real thriller-diller and a top-flight ball game all the way.
Well, we have something fun and kind of special here today. I'm joined by Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim. And thanks to a Syracuse University grad who lives in Scranton and came across some reel-to-reel tapes of Scranton Miners radio games at an estate sale. And he immediately knew what he had when he saw it, and he snapped them up. We have a radio broadcast from a Scranton Miners game, Jim, in February of 1968.
That was a long time ago. Wow.
We're going to play a few clips and let you kind of tell us a few stories in between. But again, those days in Scranton, that Eastern Basketball League was really quality basketball at the time.
Well, it was. The first year I played, we only had 12 teams, and there were 12 teams in the NBA. So that was it. That was all the basketball in the country. And then the next year, the ABAs formed, so there was more teams. But the Eastern League still was there, 12 teams. I played 5 years, and the league lasted a few years more than that. And now it's kind of morphed into a couple other leagues. And it was a Saturday, Sunday game. You played Saturday and Sunday. You worked during the week. I went to school. I coached during the week here at Syracuse, and then drove down, played in Wilmington, Delaware, drove back to Scranton, played there, and drove back. So you played 2 games. You drove about 10 hours, and you're back in time to go to work on Monday.
Well, let's listen to our first clip here from the radio broadcast that we have.
On the line, we have Jimmy Boeheim. He will shoot 2. 6 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in period number 3, and a real thrilling game here tonight at the CYC in Scranton. Actually, this is the best game we've seen all season, Bobby, bar none. On the line, Boeheim's first shot. It's up, and it's no good. Falls away. One more chance, Jimmy. It's up. It's good.
So you were 1 for 2 at the line.
That wasn't good. We shouldn't have that, and we got to cut that out, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I got to the line quite a bit down there. It was a physical league. I try not to drive too much because you could get hurt in there in that league. The big guy, one of the big guys once told me, don't come in here. And he was 6'9", 250, so I didn't go in there too much. But it was a really physical league and a lot of really good games, a lot of good basketball. It was really fun to play in that league.
And the Jim, the radio announcer, he mentioned the CYC. That's the Catholic Youth Center. What was that place like?
It was a good building. I mean, it must have seated 1,500, 2,000 maybe, and we were sold out every night. We play one game away and one game home every weekend. PJ Carlissimo lived just down the block, and he'd come to the games, but he was 16, 17 probably at that time. Played with some really good teammates, and I think this my first year I got $50 a game. I was a rookie. The second year I think I got $200, which was a lot of money back in 1967 and 8 to get $400 on a weekend. It was a lot of money. I mean, I think my room cost me $12 at the Hotel Casey, and you could have dinner for $5, I think, $4 or $5, steak dinner. So pocketed most of the money down there.
Well worth a drive down 81.
2-hour drive. I played for Paul Seymour, a great coach, NBA coach, and my coach down there the first year. And games were all sold out and really good, noisy fans.
Well, you didn't like it when you went 1 for 2 at the line. Let's listen to another clip. We'll see if we get something a little better.
Yeah, I hope so.
Boeheim will put it in play. Boeheim gives over to Lally. Lally quickly up the floor for the Miners. Bounces into Salvador. He tries to work a give and go. Gets to Boeheim. Boeheim on the right side of the key with the long push shot. It's good!
Joe Lally, he was from Scranton, a point guard. Been reffing stuff like that ever since we played together.
Some of the guys in the old Eastern Basketball League, you had a lot of the African-American players. The guys that came out of the HBCUs and everything. And
we had players from all over. Former NBA players. We had Bill Spivey, played center for us, who was banned from the NBA, who probably never did anything but got banned. He was a really good player, even though he was older by the time I got there. Willie Somerset, All-American from Duquesne. Willie Morrell from Kansas State. They were our best players. 20 guys left and went up to the ABA or the NBA after my first year. So I was very middle of the road player my first year. And then the second year, I was one of the better players because all the good players left the league. So it was a little different, but really hard, tough, competitively. You drive down there and play a physical, tough game, rest up, and then play another physical, tough game Sunday, and then drive home. It's a 2-hour ride, and I remember it took 4 to 5 hours some nights. I was actually probably the only car on the road going 5, 6, 7 miles an hour of complete whiteout. And there'd be cars, headlights straight up in the air on the side of the road down in the ditches. 81's a bad road in the wintertime. The snow starts blowing. You can't see anything.
Well, let's listen to another clip because I can't get enough of this. I think the radio broadcast is amazing.
Boeheim with the ball now. Boeheim moving left, comes up, tries to go up the middle, lays it up. It's good! The basket's good, and he was fouled on the play. A beautiful move by Jimmy Boeheim.
A beautiful move.
You know, I didn't even know they had radio broadcasts of the games. You know, you just, in those days, you didn't even think about it. I don't remember doing an interview or after a game. No media. I don't remember any media, but I'm sure they were there. I mean, some games you'd be late, you'd be driving out. I'd be going to practice here on Saturday morning, and then I'd drive down there and get there at 5:30 or 6:30, and the game would be at 7. So you just jump in your uniform, warm up, and play. And I can't believe that I did it. Now that I look back on it.
All right, the next clip is going to show us a little bit about how this game can get rather heated between Scranton and their arch rival Wilkes-Barre Barons here. This is a good one.
10-point lead for the Miners. Boeheim quickly up the floor. Goes up the middle, passes off to Jackson, or to Branch. Branch comes across. Branch partially blocked by Keller, recovered by Keller. Keller looks down, feeds the ball down to Postley, and the ball goes out of bounds. And Craig has a technical foul called on him. Joe Lally's beautiful, Bob. Stan Novak didn't like that call. He figured that Joe Lally should have had a personal foul called on him in going for that free ball. He got up off that bench and he had a technical foul called on him. Stan Novak, the coach of the Barons. So we take the long trip to the opposite end of the floor. Boeheim shoots the technical. It's good. 21 points for Jimmy Boeheim. He's the top marksman for the Miners.
So the Wilkes-Barre coach gets a technical foul for getting up.
I don't even remember that one. That was, I didn't remember scoring that many points. That was a good game for me. But, yeah, I mean, that league, the guy John Postley they mentioned there was a guy who had actually murdered somebody when he was younger and was playing in the league. And he played in the summer league in Philadelphia. And people say that Wilt Chamberlain was afraid of John Postley, the only guy that Wilt Chamberlain ever was afraid of. John Postley was about 6'8", 6'9", about 270, and he just was a human muscle. He looked like he just lived in a weight room, and he was a scary guy. I did not drive in there when John Postley was down there. If Wilt Chamberlain's afraid of you, you're a pretty scary guy. He was a pretty scary guy.
You know, another name who comes up in the radio broadcast as I listened to the whole thing, Tommy Hymans.
Yeah, Tommy played for Niagara, and I think he was an assistant superintendent of schools in New York City before he was done. He was a left-hander, smooth, really good player, 6'8", 6'9". He played. Jimmy Jackson was a forward that played with us, really good player. We had a lot of really good players, and it was a heck of a league,
Well, it's getting late in the game here, and time's running out. We're under 2 minutes to go, I think, with this next clip. So it's going to be an important possession.
Boeheim starts to move on his man, turns at the foul line, shoots a good one. It's good! A beautiful move by Jimmy Boeheim for 2 points. 117, 110, 134 on that clock.
So you had about a 4 or 5 point lead, and you made a bucket.
Yeah, we had a lot of close games. I was in great shape, but we played 40 games, 50 games down there. So that was peak conditioning time. But it's soon, after 2, 3, 4 years, I started to slip more into coaching, and then I finally left and got into coaching full time.
We got to find out what the final score here is between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. So one last clip if we could.
8 seconds. Barons put the ball in play. They look. Down court it goes to Flip. Back he goes in. Dry shoots. It's blocked by Hartnett. Hartnett with the ball. 4 seconds. Down court the Hymans. 2 seconds. 1 second. The ball game is over. The Miners win it. 125-118 for the Scranton Miners. A great victory for the Scranton Miners here in Scranton Town this evening, and one which I truthfully feel will serve to carry the Miners to some real exciting contests in the future weeks. For the Miners, the top scorer playing a beautiful ball game, Jimmy Boeheim with 30 points.
30 points.
That's a lot. I didn't score 30 a lot down there. That was pretty good, but yeah, that was a big rivalry game, and it was good to win that game. Big game. Scranton and Wilkes-Barre are pretty close together.
We're lucky that this radio broadcast has been preserved, because you're going to have to play this for Buddy and Jimmy and Sissy so that they believe you scored 30 in a game.
They don't think I could even play. They don't think I was any good, probably.
Well, those had to be some really special times. I mean, professional basketball, like you said when we first started, only 10 or 12 NBA teams at the time. If there were 10 men to a team, that's about 120. There's over 350, 400 players in the NBA today. So your whole league of NBA guys.
Yeah, there were a lot of really good players, and everybody lived in New York or Philly, Jersey, a couple guys from Washington, because everybody had to drive in. Everybody had a regular job pretty much during the week. It was a really competitive league, really good coaches, really good players. A lot of NBA players dropped down to play in the league, or they were on their way up. It was a heck of a league.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. This is your Scranton Miners station, WICK Radio in Scranton, and we're happy tonight.